Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go in your life? Where do you want to travel around the world? I just want to travel everywhere, anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I've I've traveled a couple places. I was born in America, and I've been to a couple different states in the USA. I was born in 1985, and I also went to Quebec, Canada, in 2006. And but before that, I really wanted to move to Oklahoma with my brother in 2000. It was right before I started high school. Before that, I was homeschooled. My mother was teaching me, and that really helped me. And right before I started high school, I really wanted. Actually, it was after I started high school. It wasn't before, but it was like, it was because I forgot about this. Like, it was because I didn't really like my first year, or I think it was my first year in high school, my freshman year. Like, I thought maybe I ran into some troubles with this, like, in school, the schoolwork being too hard, or running into bullies, or not making enough friends, things like that. And then I really wanted to start over and, like, get some new clothes, and try to reinvent myself, try to make new friends. Like, maybe if I wore better clothes, then people would like me more. And then I thought about that again after I graduated high school. I went to New York to go to a Bible college, the Word of Life Bible Institute, in Pottersville, near Screw Lake, about an hour from Albany. That's a few hours north of New York City. And I thought that things would be a lot different, maybe. I thought about this a little, and I went to New York, and right after I graduated high school, I went to New York to go to the college and to work at the camp there at the college during the summer. And I went there in June, and it was about 2 weeks after I graduated high school, and I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about how I would meet new people, and that things would be different. Maybe, you know, I would not run into certain problems. I would not run into certain kinds of people. But then later I found out that, like, no matter where you go in the world, you will run into certain kinds of people. There will be different combinations of different kinds of people. Speaking, that's what I'm saying, and you can't really run away from those the problems. Those certain problems that you have. You can't really run away from them, and I thought that I could. The younger I was, the more I thought I could do that, and I was a little wrong about that. But I do like traveling, and I've been to different states in America, and I went to Quebec, Canada, and now I'm in Vietnam. So in 2012, I went to Vietnam to teach English, and I've been to different places in Vietnam, and I've been to Cambodia too. And in the future, I may go to other places, and I would like to make more videos where I'm traveling the world like other people do when they travel the world and they make videos, and it's really exciting. Oh, excuse me, but it's really exciting. A bit exciting, maybe a little exciting. And I know my older sister, she's traveled the world much more than me, even though, I've been living in another country for like 2 years, which is probably longer than what my older sister did, or anybody else in my family, as far as I know. Besides maybe my grandpa, who was born in the Netherlands. My father's father was born, like, in Amsterdam, and, like, in, like, the Netherlands, not Holland, but, in Europe. I think in 1906, and then, like, his family, they immigrated. They traveled to Canada around 1912 or 1916 or so, and then a few years after that, they made it to California. They went to California, and then they like my grandpa got married and to like a Mary Margaret Hawkins, and then she gave birth to my father in like 1950, and then my grandfather, my father's father, he died like 1953, so I never met him. But my grandpa was born in the Netherlands, as far as I know, and he immigrated to America. So he spent the rest of his life, like most of his life, in another country. It's kind of like me if I decide, or if I end up living the rest of my life in Vietnam, I'd be kind of like my grandpa, in a way. Kind of like father like son, or like grandpa like son, or whatever you want to say. It's interesting. When you travel the world, you can learn things and you can meet people, but at the same time, we should realize that we don't have to go far away to learn everything. We don't really have to go really far to learn everything or to do certain things. Sometimes they're looking for something that we already have, or something that's really close to us, and then we realize that it's there, and it's been there the whole time. Something that we're missing something like joy or meaning or purpose in our lives or something, so we try to fill that gap. We're like a donut, and we have a hole in our donut heart, and we're trying to figure out how to make things better, and so we travel, or we try to get the girls, and get the money, and get the power, and get the influence, or we try to get those different things in our lives to try to make it better, to make our lives feel better, when really those things are not eternal, and those things really can't make us feel better in and of itself, kind of thing. But traveling is very interesting, so I know I'm trying to make this video to talk about where would I want to go, and I'm not really telling you a lot about it, and instead I'm talking about other things that you may not want to hear, but that's okay for me, maybe not for you, but there are certain things I like to say, and I feel like those certain things are very important. However, I can say a little bit. I can say, like, I want to go everywhere, and that's what I said earlier in the video, that I want to go everywhere, and I want to go to a lot of places, and a lot of places are interesting. I remember when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I did a book report in homeschool about Brazil, and it was really interesting to learn a little bit about Brazil. And so I never been to Brazil, and later on, when I was about 18 years old, or after I was 18 years old, I started getting interested about Australia, and Australia is very interesting, and I've always wanted to go to Australia, but I've never been to Australia. And they have these kangaroos, and a baby kangaroo, it's called a Joey. I'm Joey Arnold, and they named the baby kangaroos after me. Or there's the guy in Friends named Joey, and he says, "How you doing?" And I really like him because everybody likes him. Maybe, I mean, nobody told me life was gonna be this way. And he tends to be the one that's more funny, kind of like Phoebe. And so I like him because he has my name, the baby kangaroo, and Joey from Friends, and there's a lot of other Joeys that you will find. A lot of different, huh?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty okay. It's going okay. I'm okay. Like, I don't know. How you doing?
How's you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? Then also Quebec, Canada, and Cambodia, and in Vietnam I've been to Hanoi and Bac Ninh and Thanh Hoa and Dalat City and Dalat City and Long Can and Do Nai and what else? Laman and all the like many districts in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, and I would like to go to Australia and Japan and China and Africa and Europe, and especially to where my ancestors are from, in the Netherlands and other countries in Europe and South America and more parts of Canada and the South Pole and the North Pole and maybe everywhere. Everywhere. Why not? Everywhere. Anywhere. The moon. Maybe not the moon. The moon's a little scary. Where do you want to go? Let me know. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And why? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching.